Yeah, so here we are, final day of our meeting time. There are a couple things that you need to do in order to finish the template design and then submit it by Friday afternoon. So in the Moodle shell is the templates that you can use for your bottle design as well as your packaging. So I'll just go over to here. And so you'll see in the description here, design the label and packaging in 2D first, and then apply the finished design to the 3D bottle and packaging. So let's talk about that for a second. I did give you guys a couple of sample templates to use for both the bottle and the packaging. And so you can do those in Photoshop or Illustrator. For this one, I'm going to do it in Photoshop. So here's the template that is in the Moodle shell if you want to use it, or you can search one up and do your own version of it. For time and efficiency, I would just say go ahead and do the one I gave you in here. So remember, on the label, you're going to have the nutrition facts, the contents, and also a barcode in addition to your design. Don't forget about the neck label design and then also the cap up here. So a lot of students in the past have forgotten one or all of those things. So just kind of remind yourself to keep room for nutrition facts, contents, which is 12 ounces, 355 milliliters, the barcode. And then for the packaging, basically all I did was take my label design without the barcode and the nutrition facts and just applied them to this part of the design here. So think about it too when you're laying out the box design. You're going to flip one of those sides around, right? Because when you fold it, it's going to be one side's going to read left to right, but then if you turn the box, you have to have the same design. So you're not going to mirror it, you're just going to flip it on itself, if that makes sense. Okay, so once you have the 2D version done, just export that as a JPEG or a PNG file. I like using the JPEG option because it has a little bit more flexibility with the quality of it. So I'll export it and put this in my folder as art 225 2D final. Now, in the Moodle, there's also a couple of 3D templates you can use if you want. So one is a can, the other one is a bottle carrier. So I'll just do the can carrier. So I'll download that and then I'll open it up in Photoshop. Okay. So from here, what I want to do is apply the graphics from the 2D version onto this 3D sample. So the easiest way to do that is to either grab the label design or grab the one from the center of the box. So I'll just do the center of the box here. I'll grab a marquee tool. Except I have my feathering on, so I'll turn that off. Okay, so grabbing the marquee tool, making a selection. Again, this is the flattened version. And then just click and drag this over to the packaging. Here we go. So from here, what you can do is turn down the opacity a little bit so you can see through your design onto the packaging. And then under your edit menu, go to transform and then distort. And I'm going to just click and drag the corners of my design to the package design so that it fits on there nice. And you can extend out the graphics on the right side over here because of the shape of this box. So I want it to cover basically at least the top and then the side view. And so I'll come back over here and now I'll grab this part of the design. And then this will go in the center where you carry it. So I'll rotate it, drop the opacity, edit, transform, and then distort. And now I'll place this on the top. And these are really helpful when you're pitching an idea to a client. It's always a good idea to have them see it in 3D form too. Okay, but now I've got to edit the images so that they fit better onto this actual packaging. So I'll jack the opacity back up. And then I'm going to select these little openings right here with my magic wand tool. So I'll just shift click. And if you're getting something like that, the quick selection tool might be better. So take my brush size down. Yeah, that's going to work better. And then also don't forget to do these ones down here. Oops. I'll come back and edit that. Okay, so I'll turn my layer back on. And then if I was to use the mask right now, it would mask out my selection. So I want to use the reverse of that, because I don't want to have just that part masked. I want everything around it masked. So I'm going to use the select menu, inverse, and then add a mask onto it. And so now you can see those little cutouts have been removed. So I could turn this off again and then come in and take a look at my opacity. So drop it down a little bit, grab my brush tool, and then black is to remove. It's way too big. And I'll just come in and start to edit the edge a little bit so it looks more like it's finished off. And it looks like I got to resize or redo the bottom down here, but at the minimum, you should apply the graphics to two sides of the packaging. There's also a bottle carrier if you don't want to do this can version. So they're both kind of the same idea. Okay, then I'll export this as a JPEG. Make sure your quality is set to high. All right, and then there's a final template located in the Moodle shell. And it's called Art 225 Final Template InDesign. So you need to download that and then open it in InDesign. And that'll bring you here. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you're working in InDesign. Put your first initial, last name so I know who this belongs to. And then I'm going to click on this first one on the left, which is the 2D bottle label and packaging. Command D or file place. And then go to where you had those saved. So this is the 2D version here. And it's probably not going to fit. So remember how we used that frame fitting tool for the magazine cover? So you want to use it so that all of the 2D stuff fits in there. And then for the 3D side, I'll do the same thing. Command D. And I'll just place that container in there. And then you're going to export it out of InDesign as a Adobe PDF print. And just use all the defaults here. And then submit the PDF by Friday at 4. So, oops, that's the wrong one. Let's see, where did it go? That's not it. I'll have to go back and figure out where it's sending the PDF. But basically, you want to upload the PDF by Friday. Please do not submit the InDesign file because I don't know where all your images are, and I'd have to relink them every single time, and it just is way more difficult. So just make sure you submit the PDF by Friday. And if you want to see the display so it's not all pixelated, use the high quality display. And then if you go to screen mode preview, that'll show you what it looks like without all the guides. Okay, so that's due on Friday.